Hey y'all, how are y'all doing? What's up? What's up? So y'all, I know I'm talking low and deep when I just woke up too. I'm trying to be quiet because other people are asleep. But y'all, we gonna have to get into some things. We This is going to be a review, but it's not gonna be a scene by scene type of review because it's a hot ass mess. Okay, like I hate to curse that soon up in my videos, but this is a hot ass mess. What I saw on my screen last night. Now, some of it was interesting, entertaining, but most of it was extremely irritating, considering especially the whole Stormy steal of the situation. And okay, let's just get into it. So y'all come on in. Let's just kick back, relax on the couch, relax in your seat or wherever you're listening to this, relax. Get your favorite beverage, take a couple of sips, and let's just go ahead and dive into this. So, first thing here, you know what? I don't want to keep talking super low, trying to wake people up. Let me move out into a more private place, aka my car. So, pause, y'all. In this episode, Stormy is addressing the warrants that she have out for her arrest. She is downplaying it as if it's only because she cussed a quote stalker millimeter out for showing up at her place of business. When we know, and it's already been placed out over a year ago, that she actually has a warrant against her arrest because she threatened in a public place. She threatened to place her hands on this elderly lady. She also threatened to unalive this elderly lady in a public place in front of her place of business. That's why Stormy actually has a warrant, not just because she cussed somebody out that she was afraid of stalking her or doing her harm. Okay. Uh, let's also put there that the lady that she's talking about is an elderly lady who has elderly friends who were trying to order from Stormy. These elderly people are pretty much in their 70s and up, and they don't really do. That's like my mom. If my mom wants to support somebody, she'll be like, well, my mom would be looking for the catalog or the brochure to order from. Okay. That's what my mom would be looking for. She would be like, where's their store at? That's how my mom does things. So for basically, yeah, we know most elderly people don't go online. They don't trust that sort of thing. They don't do Cash App. They don't do Venmo and all that stuff. They don't mess with that sort of thing. If they can't really understand it, they're not about to mess with it. And I don't blame them for that at all. Okay, so the lady was trying to order from Stormy at her warehouse location. Stormy had several warehouse locations that were closed, and that's the one where this elderly lady, Miss Black Titanic, had discovered where her current warehouse was and wanted to place an order. Now, here's what I think actually happened. Okay, so y'all, we know it's been a build up until this point. If you've been watching the past seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville, people are mad because Melody has a very strong fan base. People on that cast feel like her fan base says stuff about them that they don't like. And people have become more and more resentful, I would say, resentful about that fact. And now we have season 8, where it appears to me that everyone has decided that we're going to address these millimeters once and for all. When it's like y'all should be addressing the A-beer that y'all befriending, that y'all are still befriending once and for all. And that's for all of them. That's for the Scotts. That's for Stormy. That's for Destiny. That's for Carlos King. Y'all want to focus on the wrong damn thing. Okay? But let's jump back over to Stormy and Miss Black Titanic situation. Stormy is at the point where she knows she messed up. She know that she did something that really she just brought the wrong type of attention to herself. She has embarrassed herself. And in order to take an accountability for how she talked to this lady and how she really mistreated this lady, she wants to make it seem like it's the millimeters and they were harassing me and I just couldn't take it anymore. So this is what happened. From everybody on that cast choosing to deflect from their own issues and what they got going on and wanting to focus on the millimeters and the Melody fan base, what happened was Stormy got on this show. She decided for whatever reason that she didn't want to befriend Melody. Instead, she wanted to join Team Scott's and Team Destiny Payton. From that, which she made a bad decision, and she's paying for that dearly, as we can all see, she allowed them to make her believe that anybody who wasn't best friends with Melody was automatically a target. Okay. So when Miss Black Titanic and her friend showed up at her door, Stormy automatically went into, "You weird as F. Y'all MFs got me messed up. Y'all weird. Why would you show up in my place of business? This and this and that." She just jumps into complete erratic psycho mode and goes off on this lady. And the thing about it is that Stormy, you and your husband handled that situation terribly. Melody would have never. Okay? So look, that could be thrown in their face like Melody would not have handled that like that. This is where y'all messing up. Y'all want to be anti-Melody. Melody's so wrong and bad. When, once again, for the 15th time in one of my videos, instead of y'all hating and try to team up against this lady, y'all need to be watching what she does and learning from what she does and understanding, why does she have such a strong fan base? Why does she have so many people that go up for her? Y'all need to be paying attention to that and asking yourself, why does she have such a strong fan base and why she's doing well in business? Now, I know they want to make themselves believe, or they want to convince themselves that they're doing just as good, if not way better than Melody is doing in business. But the fact of the matter is, all of y'all are lacking. And some of y'all are lacking terribly. So anyway, back to Stormy, where she messed up. She and her husband, if they were in their right mind, they had not let people convince them that anybody that was not Melody's BFF on the show was had a target on their back and was being wrongly accused and wrongly treated, they would have known to come out and see what this person was. See, like, especially Stormy, you got a husband there. If you was afraid or uncomfortable with somebody that you felt was stalking, then you send your husband to address it, which she did. But I think she had hyped her husband up that, oh, that's that lady stalking me. Somebody stalking me, because Stormy had admitted, and also Black Titanic had admitted that she had been to, Black Titanic had been to many of Stormy's other warehouses, but they were closed. So I think Stormy was aware that someone was visiting her other warehouses, and she thought that this person was just simply stalking her. Okay, I understand that. But at the same time, you handle things in a professional manner, especially when you got your husband there. You have your husband come out and be like, "Hi, may I help you?" "Oh, it would have been completely Miss Black. Oh, I'm Miss Black Titanic, blah, 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 blah. Even if you thought she was being a fan and she was being weird, you just be like, okay, so what's going on? And then she would have been able to tell them at that time, well, this is the real reason why I'm here. And y'all could have had your own fan base and your own support group from that. But instead, you all chose to handle that in an extremely unprofessional manner. You decide to sling open your door and go basically balls to the wall on cussing this lady and her friend out. I mean, downright gutter, dirty, filthy with the insults. And you all, y'all don't look so good now. Y'all look very bad. And the thing about it is that I had been giving Stormy a pass, and I remember hearing about this, but I did not know all the details of it, and so I was just like, oh, that just doesn't sound good. But just recently, since they brought it up again, I decided to do some research. So I did a little bit of in-depth research and got the full picture. And Stormy, you and your husband, if anything, if other than you getting on this show and trying to be like, oh, they weird as F, these freaking millimeters, and they're stalking people and joining the bandwagon, y'all should have did the smarter thing, and that would to reach out to Miss Black Titanic and apologize profusely for making the assumption that this lady was stalking y'all, when it has definitely come out that this lady was not stalking you. She had people who were interested in purchasing from you, people who were interested in supporting your business. And basically you had the chance to create your own fan base and win people over, but you fumbled the bag terribly. And I feel like if they're smart, if I was them and in their position, I'm on this show, I'm a public figure. Yes, there's going to be people who are going to like me. There's going to be people who are going to dislike me. I would say, you know what, it will look good on our behalf. And also, well, first of all, if it was me, I would definitely apologize to that lady. If I acted wrongly and that lady made wrong assumptions, I wouldn't have a problem with apologizing. But let me just say I'm somebody else in this moment. And I just want to do it just to save face and look good. The best thing they could do is reach out to the lady, because I know they know how to reach out to her. Reach out to that lady, apologize profusely, offer to give her and her friends all of the stuff that they ordered, if they still have it available, completely for free, because she said it was a $2,500 order. That's a lot. That's a lot of money for most people. But for Stormy and Courtney, they be out here with the Louis Vuittons and all that stuff on, buying boats and cars and taking trips and trying to buy 2 houses. I would assume that $2,500 is not that much to them. Of their own products, so it's really not $2,500. It's gonna be way less than that, because there's a markup. Y'all could offer that lady and her friends free products, up to $100 value for each person, just to reimburse them for their troubles. Apologize, issue a public apology to Miss Black Titanic, all of that stuff, and that can make that situation literally go away, because you all know that Miss Black Titanic is currently suing OWN and Maurice Scott. I don't know the exact charges or whatever that she's not charges, but what is it called? Grievances. Anyway, she's suing OWN and Maurice, and I would assume that she may decide to do the same when it comes to Stormy, especially since Stormy is on national TV telling everybody that this lady is a stalker. I mean, that in and of itself is defamation of character, because that lady was not stalking you. And you pointing her out as some crazy person out here harassing staff. I mean, not staff, but cast members of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Miss Black Titanic would be well in her right to sue Stormy Still and or her business for defamation of character. It's almost to the point where you better be glad that she's just taking you to court for disorderly conduct and harassing communications, where I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, and people have said this plenty of times, it's easier to fight a criminal case and be found not guilty and walk away scot-free than it is to fight a lawsuit against you. So she should be glad about that. And I believe the both of them have handled that terribly. So let's get into the next thing here. So this is like a review slash a bunch of other stuff. So let's get into Stormy's sit down with Destiny. And Destiny's talking about How Melody has bad energy, and how when Stormy tells her that she sat down with Melody and try to, just gauge their relationship and whatever, Stormy said, well, I felt like she was being genuine in what she was doing. And Destiny's like, really? Really? Was it real energy? And I'm like, Destiny, shut the fuck up. Like, you, how dare you try to talk about somebody not having real energy? You set up in this woman's face, trying to be her BFF, trying to get something out of her. And as soon as she tells you no, you run over there and try and rehash and revive your relationship with her ex-husband in order to get back at her. That's not real energy. You was trying to BFF this lady, and then as soon as she told you no, you go and hang out with her ops. You hanging out with her ex-husband and his side lady, his side chick, and they kid together, all up in the camera. And then you have the nerve to get on here talking about some real energy. Destiny, you've been fake and phony from the beginning in this woman's face. And then on top of it, every time you get a chance to bring her up and try to bash her name, that's exactly what you do. Every time you're allowed a platform or a microphone to speak about your relationship with this lady, which wasn't a very long relationship, you try to bash this lady when all she did was try to help you and try to befriend you when you was on some fake shit the whole time. You had a whole marriage and divorce. And at the end of the relationship, knowing that she was going through a very similar situation, you chose not to speak to her about any of it. You just chose to just up and get divorced and then keep your mouth shut about the circumstances behind it. And then turn around and call her a fake friend. So while we're on Destiny, let's talk about Destiny, Sunny, and Moses when they meet up at Stormy's Lovers and Friends event. And let's do a talk about and not talk about that. That whole conversation was so whack and so stupid. And I'm sorry, I don't even care for either one of them. I really, truly don't care for either one of them. And I will say, Sunny set herself up to look like a complete fool, because the one thing Destiny did have right is that, Sunny, you don't even know the situation. Why are you speaking on somebody's history when you were not there? And I have to agree with Destiny on that. Sunny, you like a complete damn fool trying to address another lady about her past relationship with a guy, with the man that you just met. You ain't even been with a full year yet at this point. I'm not sure if when this was filmed, I don't even think the two of them were together a year. So how are you going to try to speak on this man and his history with the woman he's been messing around with for 15 years? Girl, bye. Go and sit down. Go back to your table and eat that dry ass sandwich. And please, Sunny, that you made yourself like a complete fool. I think Sunny is so used to being able to talk to people a certain way that she is really convinced herself that she's the smartest girl in the room. When, Sunny, you're not. You are not. You are super thirsty and super pick-me-shiana, that you allow situations to set yourself up to look like a damn fool. And then Destiny was saying that her friend somebody had told her that that's what she's done, that Sunny has done stuff like that before, and that she's done it to one of their friends back in high school, messed around with her dude after she did. And I told y'all before, them girls from St. Louis, I'm from Kansas City, and these girls from St. Louis, that's how they get down. That's why anytime I've been in St. Louis, I told my husband, we not about to be hanging out in no little public little areas and clubs and stuff like that, because the girls, they just love doing stuff like that. They love to be like, oh, I don't care about how you feel. I'm going to sleep with your man. And I mean, that's everywhere, but them girls in St. Louis, they got that shit bad. So yeah, I believe it. So that situation was so just annoying. I'm like, both of them wrong. Destiny, you wrong for messing with this man off and on in between him having while he's in relationships with other women. Sonny, you dead ass wrong to hop in, slide in on somebody's man. As soon as you see a little creak in the door open, you look super desperate and stupid. So I was just kind of over that situation and altogether. So let's close this out with the most important part of this entire episode, where Melody sits down with Marceau. And I thought the conversation was going to kind of have wrapped up last week, but oh boy, was I surprised, pleasantly surprised, and very happy to see how the conversation actually ended. Um, Melody was not coming to play with Marceau. She is not Tisha. She is not about to let you play in her face. She's not about to let you use word scramble crossword puzzles in a conversation with her. She's going to make you get down to the real topic, stay on topic, and let's discuss the real facts and the real issues. So once again, here we are on this. The millimeters are the problem, and you need to shut your fan base down. Marceau goes into, well, you know, these millimeters are out of control and your fan base, or is this, and he just starts trying to disrespect her fan base by calling them a group of deplorables and some really just absolutely foul things. And Melody was not having it, y'all. She went off on him, and I mean off. I've never seen her. It looked like she was visibly angry, like she was a little bit like shaking, like she was shaking a little bit. I could tell in her voice she had a little bit of tremble in her voice. She was really freaking mad, and she went out. She actually cursed him out when he tried to say that and go that route with her. And she was like, "You're not about to try to tell me to control people who I do not know personally." Which is true. She don't know these people. Yeah, they may be millimeters. They may tap into her lives and her DMs and support her and come to her events. But Melody does not know these people personally. She does not know these people. But you want her to control, and this is what she said. And I was like, you want her to control people she does not know personally. Some of these people are complete flipping strangers. You want her to tell these grown women and men, some men too, what to do concerning her, when you can't even tell somebody who lives a few miles from you, that's your family member, your mother-in-law. You can't tell her what to do. You can't tell her to stop harassing her. You can't tell her to stop speaking on her kids. You can't tell her what to do. So how are you going to tell her to manage a group of thousands of complete strangers and what they do? How ridiculous is that? And Melody kind of peeped game. You could tell in that instant she peeped game. She's like, y'all trying to put all this mess off on me, and y'all trying to come for me again, and y'all trying to isolate me again and put a bunch of nonsense on me and the people who support me, while y'all all the while. She was like, this is the double standard for me. This is what I cannot handle. I cannot handle this double standard. And I'm like, yes, Melly, speak on this on camera, because it's okay for everybody to try to be like, let's gang up against these millimeters and tell her to shut her fan base down, because that's where they're really going with this. They want her to shut her fan base down. But y'all will allow other people to attack me and my children on a regular basis and pretend like you ain't got nothing to do with that, like you don't have no control of that. You don't have nothing to say. And then on top of it, go on public platforms and be like, free Martell, when you see that he's actually been, well, I guess at the time, accused of being me. And you all, and let's be honest, y'all know, especially the men have seen that video. Okay, the men have seen that video, for sure. The women may, but I'm certain the men on that show have seen that video. But y'all want to do that. That mess is super unfair, and it's not cool. And I'm so glad that Melody spoke on it. It was like, no, you got me all messed up. Y'all got me all messed, because that's really what she was saying. Y'all, people on this show, producers, everybody, y'all got me messed up. That y'all want me to try to control complete strangers, but y'all allow people to harass and do things to me on a regular basis and tell me to suck it up and deal with it. So I'm going to wrap it up with my final thoughts on this episode and how I feel about this entire season so far. These people need to quit. They need to stop. They need to quit with the whole let's gang up against the millimeters and get the millimeters shut down. Because what it is basically I think they're trying to make it seem like Melody's fan base is such a big problem that Melody shouldn't be on the show anymore because Melody's fan base is committing criminal acts against them. That's what it is. That's where they're going with this. And I'm not in support of that. And that's why when Melody goes live and she does different things, I try to record her lives. I try to put that stuff out because I really believe in supporting her and what she's trying to do, because people love to silence the truth. People love to, yeah, they love to just silence the truth. And the problem with the Melometers and Melody's fan base is that we like to expose what's really going on, and they absolutely don't want that. They want to be on this show and they want to live inauthentic lives. They want to sell lies to the viewers, and by them not being able to do it, they feel like somehow they're being wronged. And that's complete trash, and it's not right. It's not okay. Y'all can operate in obscure and fraudulent ways and expect to be rewarded for that. But when people try to be honest and be truthful and address real issues and real problems, y'all want to shut that mess down. Y'all want to keep it quiet. And then you want to attack the people who try to actually address it and bring it up and get actual real resolutions and solve real problems. So that's how I feel like this whole season is going, is where they're all trying to blame everything on Melody's fan base, including Carlos King, because he struck a couple of YouTubers' channels because he said he didn't like the fact that they filmed the live podcast. And I'm like, the bloggers are saying, if you didn't want us to film that, you should have had something outside the doors or something on paperwork and say, please don't film this stuff because it's copyrighted. It will be copyrighted material, something like that. Because he, like, Carlos King, the only reason why that podcast was successful is because it was Melody, and he was going to use her fan base to make that podcast successful. Because sure enough, he puts any of those other cast members up there for a live podcast, it is not going to do that well. So, the whole way that was conducted was extremely foul. And these people are thinking they're going to win by bringing in these other cast members, these other characters, and push Melody out. And the whole thing about it is everybody's like, people get in the comment section all the time on different subjects and videos and saying, I'm tired of the whole Melody and Martell thing. It's like, no, the only reason why you're tired of that is because Carlos King keeps bringing and stringing, dragging this lost, beat up, dingy cat called Martell into the building and onto this show and forcing us to deal with him. And he's the only one. Martell's the one that's making it a Melody and Martell thing. Melody just wants to be left alone, but he will not just leave her alone. He has to get on camera and film scenes and try to make her look bad. And that's the problem. And that's what's irritating people. And this is my thing. Love and Marriage Huntsville producers, this is a message for you all. If you all want this show to be successful, y'all need to refocus your attention. Quit trying to support Martell and his mess, his utter just complete trash that he brings to the show. He don't bring nothing of value. Quit trying to be, so y'all protect him, which is an example in real life out here, how people go up and all the way out of their way to protect men and in our community, black men, and completely discard black women. And that's what they're doing for public viewing on this show. Y'all want to constantly trying to find and nitpick at everything that's going on with Melody while she's keeping everything a buck. She's keeping her hands clean. She's keeping everything a buck. But y'all constantly want to try to villainize her while coddling Martell. And what y'all are not understanding is that the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base is not stupid, y'all. Y'all keep trying to play in these people's faces like you're dealing with and no disrespect to some of these shows, but there's different type of people that watch different shows. So y'all dealing with us like we the type of fan base that maybe watches baddies or something like that. Like, we are more seasoned women. We're more, let's say, more life experienced than some of these other shows fan base is. So you're not going to play in our face, and we're not going to be able to clock it and check it. And that's the problem with this show. And this is why this show is not going to do well. That's all for me, y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll chat with you all later. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I'll chat with you guys later. Bye bye for now.